And it says we are live. Are we live? Are we live out there?
There's a delay.
Yeah, I know.
I just mean there's a delay on my end. It still ain't happened.
Yeah, there's always a delay. There's a delay between the chamber and the YouTube side.
Like 15.
Here we go.
Okay. It says we're okay. We're live? Okay. Where was I? I got totally. Let's start over again. Since we're actually we're live now. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to This Week Unloaded. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. Tonight we have with us Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you, Mike Jason?
All doing good, Rich. Thanks for the invite.
Yep, no problem. And then we have the kingpin of crime himself, David Bowling. How are you, David?
Alrighty. Thanks for having me.
Yep, no problem. And then we have Mr. John Z, who still has not been able to fix his name. How are you tonight, John?
Howdy, howdy. Glad to be here.
Alright. And next we have somebody screaming. Who's killing who in the background?
They're not going to survive long anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Next we have Mystic Guns, aka Stacy. How are you tonight, Stacy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So, one of the things we were talking about before we went live was going back to the. Well, this was me and Jason before you guys joined the chat, so I don't know if you guys caught any of this or not. But they deported 12 more of those Saudis from the Pensacola Naval Air Station for various reasons. The two reasons anyway that I can remember that they said. One, but they don't say what the percentages on either one of these causes were for they're being deported. One was that they had extremist views. The other was that they caught them with child pornography. So,
wouldn't child pornography fall under extremist view as well?
Well, they're talking extremist views as in like terrorist connections.
Yeah, I mean that solidifies it even more. Extremist Muslim, child molester, that goes right along with the Quran.
Well,
apparently it's okay for them if he votes Democrat.
Well, no. See, it's okay for Muslims to have child pornography because they're just following the example of their prophet. You know, remember, Muhammad married a 6-year-old.
This is true.
But he had the good grace to wait until she was 9 to consummate the marriage.
What a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
A real stand-up guy.
Yeah, he's a real stand-up guy. You know, it's really funny when you hear the Muslims try and say, oh, it's okay because back then girls were getting married and having sex at 9. No, they weren't.
I always love it when people make that excuse that something happened back then. It's like, okay, well, it was wrong then too. How about that?
Uh-huh. Yes, there were people being stoned to death for doing that with a 9-year-old. I mean, that was not a common occurrence or accepted. You know, that was frowned upon, shall we say?
I always like the people that say that it was legal to beat your wife back in the day, which is absolutely not true. Matter of fact, it was even more of a stigma if you were caught beating your wife, like back in the Pilgrim days.
What?
You were basically shunned out of your community.
Wait. It's illegal to beat your wife?
Yeah, unless you're Muslim. Go ahead and convert.
Or if you live in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Ow!
Touch me again and see what happens, boy.
See, self-defense is not offense. So when I'm a witness that she attacked you first.
Really, David?
You know, it's not smart to beat your wife if she has a taser. Just warning you. She might just turn around and use it on you.
I would, but I would have to
go
outside first.
Now, if we can get some tasering on Snob tonight, that would be awesome.
Yeah, he's packing his stuff and getting ready to get the heck out of my house.
Already? How long
Wow.
does he think it takes to get to Vegas?
It's been a good run.
Well, he's technically leaving Friday, but I'm kicking him out before then. He's going to sleep in the car until it's time to leave.
He can go stay with Gary.
Just go to Vegas early. Have a good time.
Of course, Gary might be out celebrating right now. His Chiefs winning today.
Gary is getting drunk as a butterfly before he gets in the car with Snob.
Of course, saying that the Kansas beat Houston's kind of an understatement. They beat them 51-31. That was. Wow, that killed everything. Do we want to pick on Muhammad? Do we want to pick on Muhammad some more? Or try and convince Stacy to tase Snob?
Did you get that shockwave finished?
No. Freaking goddamn.
How much is there left?
I still have not been able to modify the part I have to modify because my Dremel decided it wanted to die. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do it without a Dremel. Now, I got an idea, but it's going to be more of a pain than the rear end.
You got a drill and a clamp?
I do not have a clamp, no. That's what makes it a pain in the rear end. Because I don't really have any work area here that I can set up where I would have like a clamp or a vise or anything set up. See, if I could have, with the Dremel, I could have just held on to it and, just ground out what I needed to grind out. But I could probably do that with a drill, but it's going to be a lot harder.
What was that? Were you talking about that handguard?
No, the last part for on the Shockwave. And there's a couple ways I can modify it, but I'm just going to make it to where it'll fit with the front sight I have on there instead of doing any trimming down or anything like that. If my Dremel wouldn't have died, I'd have had it done already. It would have been a 5-minute job, boom, done. But damn battery will not hold a charge. I have to try charging it in different outlets. Charging it for over 24 hours, which it's only, if it's fully dead, it's only supposed to take 24 hours to get a full charge. And I charged it for 36 hours and it's not holding a charge.
Did you open it up to see maybe if you just need to do a little soldering?
Well, it's the battery itself. I can't open the battery. The Dremel itself works, but there's not enough of a charge to do anything with it. It'll spin on low, but it won't go fast enough where I can actually use it because it doesn't have enough of a charge on the battery. And you can tell it's the battery because when you it has a charge indicator on the charger, and it still blinks as though it's charging, so it's not holding a charge.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have gotten a rechargeable one. I probably would have just gone with a regular.
I've had this thing for a few years, and my wife and kids got it for me.
Apparently, they got a hold of it at some point, also. Or you're just not supposed to use it for very long at one given time.
I've used that thing for a lot of things, mostly modifying parts for firearms.
Well, next time you get a Dremel, make sure you don't get the rechargeable one.
Oh yeah, I told my wife I need a corded one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But you know, it's worked it fine until now. This is the first time I've had an issue with it.
You know, they got some like off-brand Dremels, like a Craftsman. Well, it's not really off-brand, but they got other companies that take the Dremel stuff. Like, you know, you can get like a Lowe's brand or any of that. You know, you might find on sale for like $20.
Yeah, she said she was at Joanne Fabric today. She said they had a nice one up there marked down, but she didn't have the money to pick it up. It's like, well, why are you calling me to tell me this if you're not? What's it going to do if you don't have the money to get it, you know?
She wanted to see if you would Apple Pay her the money so she could pick it up for you.
We don't have Apple.
No
Hey,
apples,
Gary's
no
out
pears?
there in the chat. He says hashtag Chiefs Kingdom.
Hey, bloke.
Hey,
How
Hey,
you
bloke.
doing?
Hey, bloke. What's happening, buddy?
living large.
Brother.
How are you doing?
Hey, long time no see, brother.
Yeah, I've been super busy.
Hey, school and work.
Actually, no, school was out. We're live? Okay. School was out. I actually started back tonight, but the past 2 weeks, a lot has happened. Do you have time for me to say what happened or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I just started a new company. You guys don't know it. The company's name is ABTC Inc., and it's a sound testing consultant agency. I finally got the B&K Pulse and been out pretty much every single week sound testing suppressors. So CGS sent me a box of, 25 cans. So I did all those, plus some other ones, 2 other companies, Dead Air Silencers, and also Excalibur. So, and been preparing to go to SHOT Show to promote the company. Obviously, I'm going as a startup company.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Good for you. That's awesome.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Excellent, man. Sounds great.
it sounds like a fun little job you got there.
Well, I tell you what, it's absolutely consumed my my days off. That's for sure.
I bet.
So,
Hey,
so
at least-
far, what's the best silencer company?
You know, it's hard to say. A lot of them have great suppressors. I've seen some. I actually today was probably the funnest day. I had a whole lineup. I think I had like 7 22 cans. So I did a comparison between all of them, one next to each other. Some of them were modular. But Dead Air Silencers, they're a great company. They got great cans. We got some really good data. Most people haven't heard of Excalibur. They're known for their shotgun caliber. So we tested out Benelli. It was pretty cool. What else did we do? Who else? CGS. I did all of their cans. The Hyperion, the MOD9, the MOD9 SK, and some of their first generation ones.
So with your testing, are you able to put out your own videos, or do they have to be, or do you have to get an okay from the companies?
As of right now, I did them pro bono just to promote my company. So if you look on my YouTube channel, they're on there. There's only 2 right now, but I edited 2 more, and one's going to come every single week for the next.
And that's on the YouTube channel ABTC Inc.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the one on YouTube is I did 4 parts with Dead Air. It was an interesting. They actually came out to the range and we tested, and I've actually been in contact with Mike Papas, which is the owner. So we're going to chit chat at SHOT Show, and as of right now, it looks like I'll have 1 contract with CGS Group, hopefully Mike Papas and Dead Air, maybe Excalibur, and then obviously SHOT Show will try and translate some more transactions there. Obviously,
I'm very happy to hear that, and I hope all goes well for you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And look, you got to build an excuse if your wife complains you're shooting too much. All you got to do is tell her it's for work.
That's right, man. She's a trooper, man. I tell you what, she never complains. I mean, she may call me 100 times a day, but it's simple questions, but she never complains that I'm gone trying to start up this company. So I'm super stoked. I got a pretty cool wife.
How are you covering the need of the ammo in order to test the cans?
So right now it's promo, so pro bono. When I get those contracts, it won't be done at my facility, but generally what I'm looking more to see with the companies that I'm contracted with, they're going to bring me out to their manufacturing company area, and we'll be testing there. So some of those I won't be able to post because some of them will be prototypes until they've actually mass produced them. Where other than they'll hire me for 2 to 3 days or maybe a week or so to test different suppressors against theirs. And generally, that package, there's different types of packages. So they'll have the option, the manufacturer will have the option whether or not they want me to publicize their information or I have to sign a confidentiality list.
So for right now, your main expense is the traveling.
No, actually, generally the manufacturers will be paying for that too.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I mean the testing equipment is not your regular testing equipment. It's a B&K Pulse. It's about $30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's the same company that makes a 204, 2204, and 2209. The difference between it is that this can capture 3 axes, so mil-spec left, mil-spec right, and shooter's ear simultaneously. And it's digital, so it's not captured in the analog. So it takes away all the environmental factors. So that's where the B&K 2204 and 2209 were insufficient in that area. This particular one is specifically designed to capture this type of data. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool.
Thanks, man. Sorry about the spiel. I'm just stoked about it, and I kicked.
No. This is very interesting stuff. So don't be sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool stuff. I mean, it fits the show. I mean, so hey, talk about. I mean, that doesn't bother me one bit. You want to talk about that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sitting right next to. Right now, I've got 30 cans right next to me. I just got back, so it's been a long day.
Real quick, on a more serious note, you haven't been on in a while. Can you give us an update on how Angelina and her family are doing?
Yeah, so actually I spoke to Frank recently, and she's progressed a little, but nothing to the point where she's walking. So she's still in a wheelchair. She's adapted to her school life and going back and forth, which is good. Obviously that time she cannot get back, so she's a little bit behind. But she's good-spirited, and she's not letting anything get her down. So I'm super stoked to see that we were, as a community, come together and raise $3,000 for her. So, and who was it? Kinky, the proud owner of the MOD9. Good for him.
Yeah. You said that she still hasn't gotten feeling in her legs. What about her hands and arms? Has she got any more feeling back in their upper extremities, or she's still
the same? So the upper extremities are, I would say, about 50% functional. So she can do protraction. Sorry, I'm speaking therapy now. She can raise her shoulders a little, elbows. She can bring up to. She can self-feed. She can maneuver her wheelchair, which is fantastic. She doesn't have much support in her neck, so she still has a headrest. She is eating solid foods. I think I already said that before. But yeah, that's it. That's about it.
Yeah, I think that's better than what her condition was the last time I talked to you. So that's great news.
Yeah. She, I keep in contact with them. You know, the therapy world's a very small world, so we communicate with one another a lot. So I mean, there's no telling how much will ever come back. That's the thing with this particular condition that she has. We're hopeful. With the myelin sheath looking like Swiss cheese, generally, if a massive amount, say, you know, it's a 3.5 foot span, and you say 85% of that is Swiss cheese, and it's growing 1 millimeter a day, the growth factor is huge consideration when gaining gaining refunction back into the, especially the lower extremities.
I'll definitely keep her in our prayers that that comes sooner than later.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'll pass that on to you. So what's up with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, not too much, honestly. I've been, you know, see, what have I been doing up to? I haven't really been up to much. Think about it. Went to the rally here back in November. Met up with Kingpin and some other gun channels people there. Getting angry at my Dremel because the darn thing won't hold a charge, so I can't finish the Mossberg project.
Oh,
yeah, I got the final part in for my Shockwave. I can't put it on because I can't use my Dremel right now.
Well, you can't put guns on anymore in a live show, right?
No.
Yeah.
Can you show accessories? That's what I can't remember.
I think you can show accessories. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll risk it because here's the last part that has to go on. Right here. This is, since I can't do the video, I'll give a sneak peek. This is what's going on it.
I like it.
And what I need the Dremel for is right here. That's where the front sight post, if I had the bead sight on there, would go through that hole right there. But because I have the XS night sight on there, the big dot night sight, it won't fit. So I gotta make that bigger.
Oh, okay.
And I was gonna
Dremel is perfect.
Yeah, 5-minute job, right? Nope.
Yep.
Not if your Dremel don't work.
You got a little small file by hand. You could just
Ooh,
cut it
that
just like you're using a hacksaw.
Yeah, that'll take a while with that because.
Well, how do you think they did it back in the old days, man?
You know me, I'm too lazy to do that. What I might end up doing is seeing if I can get the grinding bit for the Dremel to fit in the chuck of my drill and see if I can do it that way.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you haven't contacted Gizzard Gary and asked them how they did it in the horse and buggy days.
I'd just grind the side off. That'd be a lot easier.
No! That's a $70 sight. That costs more than what the heat shield does.
You don't need sights on a shotgun, man. That's just for looks.
Only if you're throwing slugs through it.
Just put it in a metal box full of tannerite. That'll fix it.
Yeah. If I'd have known this was going to be the pain in the butt, I would have waited until after I got the heat shield and then put the heat shield on and then put the sight on the heat shield itself.
So, are you allowed to show a picture of a gun?
You can show pictures. You can't handle it. Technically, if I wanted to turn my camera on and position, have the Shockwave position somewhere, as long as I don't touch it, right?
All right,
Or have it in a holster on your side or anything. Can't do that either.
There we go. Hold on a second. What is that? I don't know what the heck that is. Oh, it's this thing, isn't it? I have no idea. Can you guys see that?
That looks like a Benelli M4.
Yep. Do you see what's at the end of it?
Yeah, big suppressor.
Big suppressor. Yeah, that's Excalibur.
That's cool.
That's old country. What is that?
No
Old country for old men. Yeah.
No country for old men. Yeah. But
Old men with no country.
Yeah, and we got a question out there. Pickle wants to know if any of us have ever shot an LCR and 357 mag. I have not.
No. Nope.
No, I haven't. That little like polymer, half polymer Ruger.
Yeah.
Well, I bet that's pretty nice for a hot 357 in it.
Yeah, that would be the LCR plus one. Is that aluminum or is that one polymer? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. Kingpin, how you doing, bud?
Look that up.
Well, man, I'm doing good. Good to have you back, man. Always good to hear your voice.
Oh, likewise. Sorry, I've been away for a little bit, but just been super busy.
Nothing wrong with being productive, that's for sure.
I'm trying. Jason, how's the Beretta collection coming along?
Oh, pretty good. I got a couple on the way. I ordered some parts here lately. I ordered that new Extreme S short reset trigger kit from Beretta.
Oh.
So I'm hoping I like that. If not, I'll mix and match some parts with it and get something I like.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I got a Inox Beretta coming, and I got all the parts to make it completely stainless.
Look at you, Mr. Fancy.
Oh,
I had to get the very last few parts off of eBay, and I got them this week, and they were still brand new. So I'm cool with that. Couldn't find the takedown lever and couldn't find the takedown pin. I got the all the pins, the trigger pins, the sear pins, even though you can't see that stuff. The extractors, the ejectors. What else did I get?
Are you making the Inox? Are you making the Inox the G model?
No. That's you'd have to use the silver levers that come from Beretta. It can't be G model.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. I'm looking at the LCR 357. It's a stainless steel frame, but the fire control group and the grip are polymer. I don't know if I would want a polymer 357 Magnum.
As long as they don't make the cylinder polymer.
It's they're a pretty cool looking little gun, man. My dealer has them. I've picked them up. Yeah, they're small, like a 5-shot. Yeah, they got like 1 3/4 barrel or something, 2-inch barrel with a 357. I'm sure it's snappy.
Yeah, it's gotta be snappy. Yeah. Gotta be snappy.
They're 17.1 ounces.
Yeah, it's snappy.
Yeah, that's less than half the weight of my 627. Put that in perspective.
Yep.
Well, I'm saying that for the price, that sounds pretty fun. I'd buy it. You could always just put 38 in it.
Yeah, you sure can.
Yeah. It weighs more than what a 642 does, so I mean, 38 it might be all right. He says he shot 50 rounds through one yesterday.
How's his hand?
Yeah, how's your hand feel after that? I don't know, man.
I think they got one in. I think they got one in 22 Magnum.
Yeah,
and it's got like a 2-inch barrel or a 3-inch barrel or something on it, man. That's a pretty good looking little gun.
Yeah, they come in 22 mag, 38, 357, 327 mag.
I saw something funny about the 22. So, a friend of mine posted a picture of the Lifeguard 22 suppressed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It was pretty funny. Let me see if I can find it here. Suppressed Nation. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he says his hand still hurts because he was also firing a 44 mag, a 4-inch single action 44 Magnum yesterday too.
Oh, well, see, if you start out shooting 44 mag and then you go down to that little tiny 357, it's not going to seem so bad.
Here it is.
Yeah, that is definitely weird looking. Yeah, Jason, I think that's a little on the relative side there, man, because that 357 LCR might still recoil more than what that 44 does. You're talking full-size 44 single-action revolver. It's not going to be a light revolver. What are we talking, like a Ruger Blackhawk? Is that what you shoot?
Blackhawk or Red Hawk, right?
Well, Red Hawk's double action. He said single action.
Oh, that's right. Big old 9-inch barrel.
I had one of those Blackhawk single action 44s. You know, it's got the the cowboy old west style grips on it.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't so fun.
No, and Magnum rounds and those grips like you would see on the single action Army, man, those things are not fun with Magnum rounds. Even a 357 Magnum with that style grip is not that fun to hold on to with that grip. Now, if you got the Beasley grips on one of those, it's a lot better. But if you got the Colt single action Army grips on there,
Kimber makes one too. It's like the K6S, something like that. I haven't checked.
Yeah, he said the 44 was the easier of the two to shoot.
Mm-hmm. I can believe that.
Yeah, that LCR, it's a pocket revolver.
Yeah. Now the LCR in 327 mag is interesting. That might 327 doesn't recoil as much as 357. That might be an interesting one to. But the problem with that is 327 will cost you an arm and a leg for the ammo.
Yeah, I was actually talking about ammo. I went to Walmart today, and their whole shelves were just nothing but rifle. None. Yeah. It's all gone now. All gone.
Yep. Swade his at this one too. All the pistol stuff is gone.
Yep.
Not that they ever had much here at this Walmart anyway.
I mean, they had. I mean, they had the green box, the stuff like that, just shooting range ammo, but it was quick and easy, because it's 24 hours. So you get there 8 o'clock in the morning. So you just have to change it up and go to the internet, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you went to the Walmart here, the one my kids work at, and you were looking for a 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson, good luck, because they never had any of either of those in stock. Anytime they got either of them in stock, it was gone like that day.
Yeah, well, I think I bought the last, 8 boxes of 9mm. It was the NATO, but it's better than nothing.
Hey, the NATO is actually more powerful than the normal stuff you could buy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if Winchester NATO.
Yeah, Winchester NATO.
That's really like 9mm plus P.
Yeah, no, it's stronger.
So you need to watch. You need to watch what you're shooting out of, maybe.
Yeah, if you Paul Harrell did a video on that. The 9mm NATO is more powerful than 9mm plus P.
Sure, no, I agree.
Yeah, I tried to stock up on some at Winchester NATO when I came across it. I shooted out Berettas and the M17. I know can take it, but look at those rounds. Pull them out and look at the back and look at the primers. And they don't look like they're good quality, but they all shoot good. But I just had weird looking primers that kind of looked offset. Stuff just didn't look right on the end of those rounds. But
on the NATO,
yeah, take a look at them. They'll have a primer sealant gasket, and you'll just look at it and they'll look weird. And you'll be like, "Man, is this good stuff?" But it is.
Yeah. Have you seen the big M17 ammo? That 9mm NATO that's got the V-Crown self-defense tips on it, the hollow points?
Yeah, from SIG. You talking about SIG ammo?
Yeah, the SIG ammo.
SIG. Yeah, they got the solid points and the hollow points. I haven't bought any or seen it. I've just seen it for sale.
Yeah, I got them. I got the SIG 9mm hollow points for the 365 too.
Yeah.
SIG's coming out with some good stuff for his ammo.
Yeah, Paul Harrell tested that 365. Just get the regular V-Crown. So the regular V-Crown, he said there wasn't much difference in the felt recoil from it, and it performed better in the meat target test. The small barrel, that stuff that says is developed for the smaller, it didn't perform any better. It actually performed a little worse.
Man, I've been
relative. I mean, either one would get the job done. Let's be honest, but the regular V-Crown self-defense ammo, it was cheaper and it performed better. So, yeah, velocity-wise, it had higher velocity than what the 365 did, and he was testing it in small handguns and in his Beretta 92. He tested it in both, and in both it's not worth it to buy the 365 stuff. Basically, was the conclusion.
Yeah, I had to pick up some S&B subs too, man. I tell you what, those things are quiet. $150 grain though, you know.
Yeah, 147, 150 grain. You get them in a suppressor and a 9mm, it's going to be quiet.
Oh, it was quiet. I think I have to look at the data, but I mean, I think Shooter's Ear was at in the low 20s, I think, 120 decibels.
At what grain load does it start to become subsonic?
So anything below 1100 feet per second, I think.
Depending on elevation, because elevation will change that. Because the lower you are below sea level, the denser the air is going to be. So anything going supersonic is going to be going faster than, like, say, if you were in Denver, where the air is going to be thinner. 1050 might be supersonic when you're in Denver, whereas, say, you're in New York, Miami, somewhere like that, 1050 is going to be subsonic. That's the density.
Copy that.
Yeah. So these are 150. So they're here in Florida. They're subsonic.
Now all of those are copper jaggeded.
Copper, you said?
Yeah.
No. These are full metal jacket, but they're not copper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, it's either going to be brass jacket or a copper jacket. Depends on the manufacturer.
Yeah. S&B.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
Yeah, S&B generally. Well, this particular is full metal with brass. Great ammo for suppressors.
Not the cheapest stuff though, right?
No. Actually, believe it or not, we searched the entire area that I lived in, and there was only 2 places that had it. So we picked up all, 15 boxes or so.
Yes,
that's all they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, S&B, Celia, and Belay, they usually are one of your cheaper brands. They're Croatian, I think. They're one of those former Yugo republics.
They're Czech.
Are they Czech? Okay.
Yeah, Czech. Yeah.
Yeah, check. Okay, I knew they were over there in that region. I just remember.
Yeah. It was just really hard to find subs anywhere, man. Even the big range at, where I usually go to get my ammo didn't have any subs for 9.
You couldn't find any subs whatsoever?
None. Not for 9 anyway.
None? Did you give them the right YouTube channel? Wah, wah, wah.
Maybe you could find a reloader to help you out.
Well, then the problem with that is it has to be standardized, the testing. So once a reloader is, it's not a trusted.
Oh yeah, I see. Well, just for your personal use. Yeah.
So for my personal use, I have no problem with reloaders at all. It's just unfortunately manufacturers won't use them.
Yeah, if this takes off, you might be able to get a contract with someplace like Federal or something to help supply his ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Military Arms channel lately, he's been using a lot of Federal because Federal jumped on with him and they're like sponsoring his channel and supplying him with ammo now.
Yeah, I used American Eagle's Federal too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used American Eagle for 300 Blackout. We tested, and that was pretty good ammo. We had subs too.
Yeah, Federal's American Eagle, CCI.
Yeah, we used them too.
Spear, obviously Federal. There's a couple others I can't remember right now off the top of my head.
Used a ton of CCI today. The 22 suppressor.
Mm-hmm.
That's good ammo. It's 45 grain, and you could. I mean, even without a suppressor, you could tell a big time difference between, say, like the gold. What was it? The Winchesters. Remington. Huge difference. Half of my, I would say, I'm going to give it on about 25% of my Remington failed.
Was it Remington Thunderbolt or subsonic stuff?
No, it wasn't subsonic. It was the gold.
Old Gold Saber.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the value pack.
I thought you were using the bucket when you said that.
No. I just picked up a box just to get a sample rate baseline between the two. The brass plated hollow. There were hollow points too, but I would say about a quarter of them failed.
Wow.
What do you mean failed? Just like failed to feed, jammed up, or
no, just wouldn't fire.
Didn't go off.
Yeah, it didn't go off.
Didn't fire.
Did not fire.
Oh.
Yeah. I think only maybe one of the CCI subs failed, maybe one. But actually one of them, the gold actually got stuck in my barrel. I had to take a screwdriver to it. It was bad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Squib loaded it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's Squib when you need him?
Yeah, where's Squib?
Yeah, 22 can be bad for rim not detonating the primer because the way they put the material in there, it'll settle. Sometimes you have to put the round back in and try hitting in a different location, then it'll go off.
Yeah.
But that's one of the pains about rimfire cartridges.
Yeah. When you're testing, it's really hard to spend time trying to, troubleshoot.
Fix all the issues between every time. Yeah.
Troubleshoot the 22 bullets so that it went on the floor. That was it.
yeah. Generally speaking, though, the 22 bullet, if you pull the trigger and it goes click, eject it, put it back in, get it to where the hammer's going to hit in a different spot, and then usually the round will go off. And
were you shooting anything that had a second strike thing?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Were you shooting any firearms that had the second strike capability?
Like you something like a what the hell is that?
Like if the primer didn't,
Well, we had a. I tested a 45 FN tactical.
No, I'm saying, but that's not a 22. I'm saying
no,
with a 22. No ability if you have the issue where the firing pin hit an area where there wasn't any priming compound, it's not going to matter. It's going to strike in that exact same spot again. That's why you got to move. You got to physically move, rotate the round where there's a completely unhit spot for you to try again.
Oh, okay.
What happened is the way the primer compound is in the rim, it'll settle in like shipping and whatnot. So then you end up with you can actually end up with a gap where there's supposed to be priming compound, but there won't be any. So when the firing pin hits the rim in that spot,
so you could hit it 10 more times and nothing would happen.
Yeah, you can keep hitting that and putting the firing pin in that exact same spot.
Not that that's recommended.
I guess in a pinch.
Yeah.
Well, from what I saw today, that's the same thing you got to do with the new Colt Pythons too.
Ooh.
Light primer strikes and the cylinders quit turning.
Jesus Christ.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching Hickok's video and he broke his. And then I heard him mention that he had seen a video where a fellow was having the same problem with his gun. So I went and did a quick YouTube search, and right down the list, I come down, I found videos 1 day old, 2 days old of people with their Pythons, light primer strikes from like the very first cylinders you go to shoot, and then within just not even a half a box of ammo, cylinders quit turning.
Oh wow!
Are these new Pythons?
Yeah, that brand new Python that's out. Yeah.
Hey folks, I'll be right back. I gotta get a drink of water.
Okay. Well, they're gonna be getting a lot of returns. Sounds like folks are going to be getting a lot of returns very shortly.
It doesn't seem good when the very first videos of someone actually shooting them and they're having problems. Now I can understand you can adjust them and you can fix a light primer strike, but the cylinder not turning, that's a huge issue. That there's something seriously wrong in their design.
Well, I mean, the timing is off. That's very bad.
Yeah,
unless something's getting jammed in there.
And both of them I saw, they'll sit there and won't move the cylinder at all. You click it, pull the trigger over and over, pull the hammer back, single action, nothing happens. And then all of a sudden it will work for 3 rounds. Yeah, and then it'll be right back to not doing it again. So, I mean, it's intermittent, and just because it's stuck there, it might finally turn that cylinder after 4 or 5. One of the guys I've seen it shot a round off unexpectedly with it because he just was like pulling the trigger trying to get it to rehit. And yeah, it's just not good if the cylinder quits turning.
Yeah, there's something more going on.
Thing going off when you're not aiming in the right direction.
Yeah. There's something more.
That's not good.
I've been thinking about since we were talking about in the pre-show. There's something more going on there than just a timing issue, though. If you think about it, because a timing issue generally it'll be where the cylinder doesn't line up properly with the barrel, but when it rotates, it's not rotating at all. There's something more going on.
Either the hand,
sounds like it's not even staying aligned.
Yeah, the hand is not turning the cylinder. Yeah, so either the cylinder lock is not letting go, or the hand is just skipping off of the teeth that on the cylinder itself. Something's not right. There's not enough contact on that hand to turn that cylinder. Because when I've seen it, I mean, you're pulling that trigger and doing all of that action in that firing control of that action, and everything is happening except the cylinder moving.
I wonder if something's off on the internals and the hand somehow slid back a little bit.
It can't be touching.
Yeah, it can't be making contact proper.
Or whatever moves the hand is not working, and the hand just staying put, or something.
Yeah, it's not going to be that the cylinder seized, because if the cylinder was seized, you won't be able to pull the trigger.
Well,
the hand would prevent it.
If it's seized, then period, it's not going to turn at all.
Yeah, these will turn. You can turn them by hand, and it seems like if you jiggle and wiggle that cylinder a little bit, they started rotating again for like 2-3 shots, and then go right back to not spinning.
Is there a spring in there somewhere that might be a problem?
Yeah, something's definitely out of whack. Either the cylinder somehow is getting out of position on the pin that it rotates around, or the hand is getting knocked out of position. One of the two has to
Is
be.
there a spring in any of that control group?
I'm not sure. I know Colt said they removed 13 parts in that trigger mechanism. So I don't know. Maybe they need to put a couple more back in.
Maybe they removed the
They need to put something back in because they took something out.
I'd have to agree. Or maybe they forgot something there, man.
Oh, no wonder we had that part there.
They kept taking out and didn't stop.
Yeah. It's like, oops, we took out one too many parts.
Reminds me back in the day when I used to work on my car, there would always be bolts left over.
It's like back in.
That's how you know you did it right.
It's like when they decided they were going to make the BAR better between World War I and World War II, and they made it worse. Made one thing heavier. Yeah, we're going to lighten it. We're going to make it more reliable, and then no, instead they made it heavier and less reliable.
But that Colt Python's been hyped so much, and it has such a reputation from the past. For them to come out and have problems right from the get-go, that's just not good.
No,
well, I understand any of the problems, but I should have added, when you're charging that much money for the thing, it should work on the first day.
Yeah. There's no excuse for that with a $1,500 firearm. Yeah, there really isn't.
Yeah, they should have been testing those for 6 months at the factory and found problems like that.
Yeah. This will be something I would expect to find with the those ATI revolvers that are coming out of the Czech Republic. Not something that Colt has supposed to have been working on to bring back for how long, and it's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable for that to be happening.
Well, I tell you, I pay attention to Colt's websites and Colt for a while since I bought my first ones, and even the Cobras come out, and then the King Cobras, they really kind of just really didn't even make much hype about it or whatever, but they have went full blown big time production videos and commercials hyping this Python.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody going to SHOT Show?
Yeah, you are. You're the only one here going.
Really? Man, I thought somebody else would go.
I'm not.
Uh-oh.
Snob is, though.
Why not?
We decided I was probably better off staying home with the kids this year.
We decided you decided that.
Okay, I decided that because none of them have their license yet. So if they miss the bus, then I would have to get someone in the family to take them to school, and figured it'd be a hassle.
Yeah, there's probably nothing in Vegas for you to do anyways.
Oh, I would totally let them go to SHOT Show, and I'll go hang out at the Strip.
You're gonna do what at the what?
I said I would let them go hang out at SHOT, and I would go hang out at the Strip.
Oh, okay.
Strip?
I caught the last part of that.
There might be some high rollers there. I might try and find me a sugar daddy.
Yeah, keep the Jaeger away from her, and it'll be good.
Oh boy! Hey, do you know? Have you seen that dollar bill gun?
The what?
The dollar bill gun. You can put a whole bunch of dollar bills in the gun, and it shoots dollar bills. Make it rain.
Like
oh gosh!
Cannon things or something.
Yeah.
Sarge needs that for his super chats.
I'm all excited. I thought you was talking about my $100 bill high point I envy.
No, now what's gonna happen at SHOT Show is somebody has got to hold Sarge down, and somebody else has to force feed him parking lot tamales and get it on film.
You know, I guess I didn't realize how big this event is. And I took a look at the app today. I mean, this thing's huge. It really is. And I was on a recent discussion, and the one thing they wanted to warn you of is you got to make sure you stay hydrated so you don't dehydrate yourself.
And don't overdose on orange juice like Yankee did.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh, you don't know about that? What was it, last year? Yankee was worried that he was going to get sick, so he kept drinking all his orange juice and ended up in the hospital anyway.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. Yeah, your sugar overload on that. Apple juice and orange juice is the first thing that we give when somebody tanks at the hospital. Yeah, diabetic-wise.
Yeah. They were saying
I'd stay away from Yankee or Matt anytime at them shows because them guys are sick all the time on there.
I don't know, man. I tell you what, I've got such a high immunity just from working at the hospital. I hardly ever get sick. It's very rare that I do, and if I do, it's only maybe a day or two. But then again, I'm around a bunch of sick people, so.
Yeah, my wife is always bringing something home from work.
I have a rule. We never we don't wear shoes in the house, but generally I never wear the hospital shoes anywhere near the house. It goes straight in the trunk in a box.
Yeah, she works at dialysis department, and there's always people are sick as a dog every time they go in that place.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you get into dialysis, especially if it's 3 times a week, that's generally you're not paying. If you are, it's maybe 200 mils per day. So therefore, you're almost pretty practically in kidney failure.
Yeah, and your immune system is essentially nil.
Oh yeah. Actually, what's crazy now is even the geriatric or the older population is getting RSV, which has never been seen before. RSV usually attacks children, infants. It's a respiratory issue. And I've seen a lot of patients recently with RSV. And if you compare a geriatric to an infant, they have the very similar immunity.
Okay, for those of us who aren't medical, what the heck is RSV?
Okay, so the technical the technical term for RSV is, hold on, let's see here.
My friend's kids got tested for that just this week. They've been sick.
Yep, so it's respiratory syncytial virus. It's a respiratory infection, basically. And it causes mild cold-like symptoms, so forth. My son has it right now. It is a little contagious, but generally only really affects children under 6 months. Anything over that, unless you get into the geriatric or older population, then it can be fatal to infants or geriatrics who have a very poor immune system.
Okay, respiratory infection, got it. The rest of it, was kind of over my head, but I can understand that part.
No worries. Sorry, I apologize if I ramble on.
Yeah, my friend has a less than a year-old baby that got tested for it or positive for it, and a 2-year-old. And they were saying that like even the 2-year-old was kind of old to have that, but they ran tests like twice and something about their lab or whatever. They ran a test twice. The first time they couldn't say for sure, but the second time they tested and they tested positive for it or traces of it or something.
Yeah,
but they did say it was kind of rare there for like the 2-year-old to have it.
Yeah, usually is you don't see it at above 6 months usually, but for some reason this past 2 years, it's affecting a lot a broader people, much broader area, and it's almost like a mild form of pneumonia, kind of. At nighttime, you get very raspy. You're crackling. You're gasping for air. So if you know anybody or you're next to anybody who has that, don't be too afraid. Just tell them to open the freezer and inhale that cold air, and that will actually dilate your lungs and they'll open them up so they won't be so bad. So that's what my wife actually spent majority of the night last night with my head son in the freezer. And then we woke up and we took him to the hospital, and that's when he was diagnosed with the RSV.
All these things happening to little kids, you guys are depressing me.
I apologize. Unfortunately, there's no cure for it. It goes away by itself. You get a dose of steroid, and that's about it. All right, let's get back to the firearms community here. Snob?
Yo.
I'm hungry. When are you taking me out to dinner?
Sometime. I thought you were taking me out to dinner.
Oh, well, you're the big roller here.
Yeah, I'm poor.
Listen, would you two lovers make a date and get it over with already?
It's going to be interesting. It's the first time I'm going to SHOT Show, so I'm going to get to meet all these fabulous people.
I'm going to blow a kiss whenever I see him.
Oh, Jesus. How tall are you, Snub?
6'1".
Oh, we're the same height. Well, actually, I'm an inch taller.
No, well,
so
I can promise you both they're not that fabulous.
Hit on his cheek.
Say what?
All I can say is run.
You said that you meet all. All these fabulous people. I promise you, no one on gun channels is that fabulous.
Oh,
well, don't tell Snob to run because he might fall and slip and trip on him, and might give him some more than he expects.
Well, I wouldn't put it past him to use some tongue.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, run.
Do they make mouth condoms?
Just find one that fits your entire head.
Mm-hmm.
Just cover your whole head.
I'm gonna have to put a Ziploc bag in my mouth.
Okay, well, what the hell did I just come back to? I was watching the video Sarge sent me, and then I looked and now this.
Yeah, don't ask.
I'm completely innocent. I didn't do
it. Hey, Rich, don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, this is Vegas right now.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's right.
Unless you bring it home and have to get a prescription.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on.
That's only if you use code SNOB.
Doesn't it sound like this?
A lot like that.
Moo out there for some reason, I don't know, he just at random or what, but he says he has a Smith & Wesson 340 PD and 357 Magnum. Okay.
I've got.
Well, is that a small gun like the LCR?
I don't know. He could come in here and tell us about it because he's got a link, but he's too afraid of the PG-13 policy.
It's only a 5-10 minute wait. Come on, 5-10 minute wait. That's all you got to do.
He hasn't worked off from the Christmas Eve episode yet.
Oh no, that expired at New Year's. We're on.
No,
that's old business. We're on new business now.
He had enough of those Seven Wonders moments to last until next Christmas. What do you?
Yeah, Moo has about 350 5-minute rules on him.
Yeah, Blood Pride, you have no idea what we're talking about.
I have
Go back and watch the Christmas Eve episode, man. That we had some fun that night.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, this past Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
I went live and
pretty much the show drove me to drink and get really, really buzzed.
Oh wow.
Was it?
We were
Christmas Eve.
And we just got all kinds of out of hand. And the show went so long, we did 2 brackets, not one.
Wifey, I do like your new name, by the way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least I'm not, associated with Snob's wife anymore.
Well, whether you like it, you are associated with him. You belong to each other until death do you part.
You're right.
Yeah, you're kind of screwed with that
right.
one.
Yeah, except she, you know what? She has enough guns. She could make that death to you part rather quickly.
Yeah, but you have to wait till he gets her the ones that she actually wants now.
All I have to do is just, you know, get a life insurance policy on them, and there's a lot of land out here.
You know, that's funny because my wife, she asked me, I said, you know, do you have a life, you know, we have life insurance policy, but she asked, you know, what would happen to all your equipment? I said, what do you mean? She goes, you know, if something were to happen, does it come to me? I said, yeah, you're on my trust. And I saw the biggest smile out of her face. I don't know if she's planning something.
Smart woman.
She is a smart woman.
Yeah, I know you're British, bloke. And going back to the Christmas Eve episode, if you watch it, Jason Stewart may offend you because we found out in great detail that he does not like Queen.
But that's okay because I'm American now.
Yeah, he was going on a rant about how Bohemian Rhapsody is the worst song ever, and it was funny.
You know, did you know Freddie Mercury was an opera singer?
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised.
Yeah, he was an opera singer. All right, enough about Freddie. Jason, how do you really feel about Bohemian Rhapsody?
He's stepped away. He's not here right now.
I should put it on.
Hey, I just put my headset back on. What was you saying?
Nothing.
Okay.
Don't get him started.
I had to go get me a beer. I thought this was Black Cat's chat.
Oh, then you would have had to get the rest of us beers too.
You know where the fridge is at. Go get it.
Nope, no clue. You got to do it for me. I'm lazy.
I have Jaeger.
Woohoo!
Please don't give me a break.
Best song ever.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, we were singing.
Copyright.
Yeah, I believe Christmas. Was it Christmas Eve we were singing this?
Yeah, I hear some background noise. That's what it is, noise.
Awesome.
I think what you were hearing was a dump truck, one of those dump trucks that they haul trash away and driving down the street.
Yeah.
You don't know good music.
No, they don't.
Like.
I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody, let's be honest, though, is probably the most schizophrenic song in the history of mankind. It doesn't know what genre it belongs to.
You know what's ironic, though? It's like when he went and sung that song at Wimbledon, his genre or followers way suppressed, like John Elton and everybody that was there, which is crazy. That was the first time that ever happened. All right. Kingpin, how comes you're not getting shot, Joe Bud?
That's not really my thing. I'm not exactly all that interested in the SHOT Show.
Well, you know, I was more interested in actually see what you actually look like because I've seen your hands, but I've never seen you.
You're not missing anything.
He's 4'3" and weighs 642 pounds.
Wow.
That's
41. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
He's built just like a kingpin, man. Fat on the bottom.
Well, I get to meet a lot of people, so I'm stoked about that.
I'll tell you what, though, if you ever go through a Burger King drive-thru with Kingpin, make sure he's the one that's driving. You'll get all kinds of napkins.
Well, tell us the story.
That's why you haven't heard the story.
I have not heard the story.
Okay. Kingpin brought me back up the road from the DC rally, right? So we're driving through. We stop in Romney, West Virginia, at the Burger King, which is like a half hour, maybe from where I live. He starts flirting with him and the girl working the drive-through, and they're like flirting back and forth the whole time. I'm trying not to laugh. They were sitting there for like 20 minutes because they were starting to close up and they had nothing made. So they had to make, but because the restaurant was still open, they had to go and cook our order for us. And the two of them are just sitting there just talking back and forth. She's giving him looks, and I don't know if he's paying attention or not. But anyway, by the time we get our food, he hands me the bag. I open the bag. The bag is full of freaking napkins. She had to have given us at least 100 freaking napkins in that bag.
Was there a phone number on it?
No, that was the funny thing. There was not a phone number. Because I looked, there was not a phone number on any of them.
He went through all 350 napkins. Hey guys, thanks for the invite. I gotta go. I gotta run. I gotta be up early in the morning for work.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take it
See you,
easy.
John.
Yeah, I mean, if you need napkins, he'll be the one to be able to get them for you.
So there's no future Miss Kingpin?
She's in here.
Not till I get divorced.
Oh. Hold on. What about us?
Oh, you're gonna be the side one, honey.
Oh, dang.
I don't care which one of you take her. I just wish one of you would.
Yeah, I like married. I always liked married women because you don't have to buy them anything, and they usually don't call you at night.
Yeah, Kingpin must be AFK because he usually. That's not what happened when I tell the story about the napkins. But it most certainly is what happened.
Have one conversation with one person, and all of a sudden, it's a match made in heaven or something, or a match made in Burger King.
You didn't get her phone number?
I don't even know what she looked like.
Maybe he wasn't interested in her, man. I mean, goddamn.
I don't know.
It takes more napkins to buy me.
You weren't there, man. That's all I got to say.
He was just using her for napkins.
Huh?
He was just using her for napkins.
Hey, that's all I was saying. If you ever go to a Burger King and you need napkins, get David on your task. That's all I'm saying. Right, come on.
He was really quick to defend. Oh, I wasn't flirting.
Well, if there's a rally next year, we're all going to that Burger King. And we'll see if she's still there.
We need to rent like a big camper. Yeah.
Who's gonna try and go to NRA?
When is that?
Third week of April, maybe.
What town is it?
It's in Orlando, isn't it?
That's the week after Gunathon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Do they have Burger Kings in that town?
No.
Yeah.
Hold on, isn't it in Orlando?
No.
Nashville.
Nashville. Okay.
I think that's gun rights policy that's in Orlando.
Okay.
Ooh, I'll go that one. Never
I
been to
wouldn't
Florida.
mind going down to NRA.
Never been to
What
Florida.
happens if you're not a member?
Come on down.
Pay your money and be a member or get credentials.
I want to go to NRA, but my wife doesn't want to go to that one. I would have to figure out a way to get there. And I probably won't have any damn money to do it. So.
We're going to try and take an extra day or two so we can maybe do some sightseeing because I've never been to Nashville.
Go to Dollywood. Go to
That'd be
Pigeon
awesome.
Forge. Go to Dollywood.
I've been to Dollywood. It's not nearly as impressive as Silver City, though. That's what it originally was. It was Silver City's other park, and then they sold it to Dolly.
You know, the problem with Nashville is you gotta pay a fee to get in all the bars, man.
I don't really go to bars.
Well, think of it this way: if the Predators make the playoffs, you won't have to worry about going in the bar because the bar's going to be on the damn sidewalk.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time I like to go to a bar is to go dancing, and I don't have a good dance partner.
Hold on a second. You telling me Snob doesn't know how to dance?
Oh,
No.
shoot, I can dance like you wouldn't believe. You gotta see me do the Macarena.
I try to teach him how to do the two-step, and
I can kind of two-step.
he can kind of do it, but not much.
I'd like to see that. Maybe in Vegas.
I'll just stick to line dancing.
Well, remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so don't film it.
Ooh, I don't know. Might have to break the rules on that one.
All I know is that once he's in Vegas, he is your guys' problem, not mine. Don't call me. The dogs agree.
I would think once he leaves the house, he becomes Gary's problem and don't call you.
Again, not my problem. If it's anything like he was when he came back from NRA in Dallas, I feel really sorry for Gary. I practically came home that whole trip driving with my head out the window.
Oh, boy.
I threatened to pull over.
Shot show.
I threatened to pull over and leave him on the side of the road countless times.
Maybe this year, Kimber will come out with a Corvette.
Oh, speaking of that, did you guys see any of the coverage from CES by any chance this past week? Sony has a car that has a PlayStation 5 built into it.
Yeah, that sounds safe.
Like the headrest, instead, like you used to have the DVD player with the screens in the headrest.
Uh-huh.
For the back seat, they actually have that for PlayStation 5 now, where we've got these 17-inch screens built into the back of the seats, where whoever's in the back seat can play PlayStation 5, and whoever's sitting in the front passenger seat can play.
Well, that's good. As long as the driver can't play.
No, the driver is not playing, but it's actually rather interesting. Sony now has a car. Now, whether it's going to be just a prototype or make it into production, nobody knows. Or if they were doing that as a thing that to demonstrate to other car manufacturers, nobody knows for sure because Sony's not saying. They were keeping mum on it, but they showed it off on, at the Consumer Electronics Show. So everybody's.
So they made a whole car.
Hey, I appreciate the invite. I got to bail.
See you, Cal.
Take it easy.
But yeah, Sony had a whole car, and like where the Ford or Chevy logo would go on your grill, it was the PlayStation 5 logo.
Oh wow! Hold on, is there a PlayStation 5?
It's going to be coming out later this year, just in time for Christmas.
Wow. Okay.
And there's going to be an Xbox X, which looks like, the pedestals when you walk into the doctor's office that the plants are sitting on? It looks like one of those minus the plant.
Huh. That's interesting.
Well, the one version, there's going to be two versions of the Xbox X. There's going to be a higher tier version, which is going to look like the pedestal that a pot would be sitting on. And then the second one is going to be, it's going to be like your standard console thing. But the one that looks like a potted plant pedestal thing is actually a full-blown computer. Now, you're not going to be able to put Windows on it because, or Linux or anything like that, because they don't want you doing that. If you remember when the original Xbox came out and people were turning them into Linux workstations.
Yeah.
They still are frowning on that. But there is a company, Origin PC, which is owned by Corsair, and they actually had a system that they were displaying that's going to be that might even be on their website now. The left side of it is a regular computer, and the right side of it is a PlayStation 4 or a Xbox One. And they did it for people who stream their games on Twitch or whatnot when they're playing on their console. It feeds right into the PC, and then you can go right to your computer, right to the internet, and put it on your Twitch from your computer. without having to have your console hooked, without having to wire all your console into your computer and all that. It does it. It's all set up. All you gotta do is plug it into you plug the console side into your TV and the computer side into your computer monitor, and you're good to go.
Your backs are all in peanut.
I saw a camera for your targets for up to 400 yards away, and it transmits it back to your phone or your tablet, and it was only $250.
That's interesting too.
It's the Caldwell. It's a Caldwell. The people that make the lead sled. It's a Caldwell target camera, and it's got a pretty nice little camera set up on a tripod, and then it's got a transmitter that'll transmit it back to your phone through Wi-Fi for like 400 yards, and then they got one that'll do 1,000 yards, but it's like $400 or $500. But the same thing as $250 one, man, looked pretty cool. And whenever the image is on your screen and you see your shots, you can touchpad, you can touch each shot and it'll mark it, and it'll measure your group and tell you what your group was.
That's pretty cool. They're coming out with all kinds of technology, man.
Yeah. LG, again, going back to CES, LG had a TV that was 292 inches.
Yeah, I seen that. It was like 10 grand though, wasn't it?
No, it's $1 million some dollars.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's made up.
I'll get one of those.
Yeah, it's made up of little panels where, say, the pixels start dying on one panel, instead of having to replace the whole TV, you just replace one panel in the TV.
Wow.
How big is it?
292 inches. That's like 25 feet or something, if I remember right from when I did the math the other night when I saw that.
Is it for people, or is it for like a basketball arena?
No, you can buy this and put it in your home. It's for people that build their home theaters and whatnot. It's actually something you can have in your home. And you can configure it in different shapes too. You don't have to have it in the standard rectangle. You could configure it to where it's different shapes because of the way the panels work that make up the TV screen.
Cool. That'd be cool to watch NASCAR on.
Yeah.
They showed a room full of people with this TV at the front of the room. It looked like they were standing in a movie theater. That is a huge freaking TV. And my wife, I saw that and I told my wife, and you say a 55-inch TV is too big. She just gave me the wife look, you know what I mean?
I had a nice TV. I had like a 72-inch, or it might have been a 67, something like that. That I just loved it for the games, but tragically, it failed to survive New Year's night a couple years ago. Didn't react well to beer bottles going through the screen.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Jesus.
Something else that they had at CES. Instead of having a laptop where you fold it and you got your keyboard and your screen, it's one big screen. The screen actually folds in the middle, and you use the on-screen keyboard at the bottom like you would a regular keyboard. Or you have a magnetic keyboard that sits on top of it, and then you slide that up, and it creates the trackpad at the bottom for you to use like a mouse.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there were a few different companies that had things like that. Lenovo had one, LG had one, Dell had one, and there was one more. I don't remember who it was, but there were like 4 different manufacturers that had similar kinds of laptops to that. And there are phone companies into that. Samsung has the Samsung Fold, which folds in half the screen, and it's the screen. And Motorola's coming out with a new flip phone that does that too.
Yeah, I've seen Motorola's one.
Yeah, the Samsung one's on the market now. It's like $2,000 for it. It was cool because I think it was I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it might have been the LG. You can open it up all the way, and then it actually has a kickstand in the back where you can sit it up. It looks almost like a picture frame. You know what I mean? How a picture frame had the thing in the back that would hold it up, and then you can sit there and watch like Netflix on that with the whole thing like opened up so that you have a bigger screen to watch like Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever streaming video service you have.
Geez, that sounds like it costs $2,000.
Well, they didn't have any MSRPs on them yet because they're all like prototypes still. The Lenovo one was interesting because it actually, the back of it, right, when like the lid in the bottom had have leather on it. So when you fold it over, it actually looks like a book or a high-priced like notebook or folio. You know what I mean? That has the leather on the outside.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, they had some really interesting stuff at CES this year. I've been watching like the tech channels of their coverage of CES.
All right, folks, I gotta hop off here. I gotta go to bed.
All right. Thanks for stopping in.
Later, bloke.
Take it
Bye,
easy.
See, bloke, don't make too much noise.
Take it easy.
That's pretty cool, bloke, getting into them suppressors, man.
Yeah.
Found him a little thing he's interested in and going with it. That's cool as hell.
Squibs out there. He said 25-foot TV might as well have a holodeck. It's not quite a holodeck. But speaking of holodeck, who was it? I think it was, I just watched the video earlier on it too. I can't remember who it was now. Was it Inwin? It was either Inwin or Lian Li, which they make computer cases. They have one that looks like something you would see in a sci-fi movie. And if you tell it to do something, like you tell it, what did he say? Because they had it programmed in. What was the name that they had programmed? Anyway, he told it to do a light show, and it started like strobing lights all around it and stuff. It was really cool. This was a computer case. Thing was like $1,400 for the computer case itself, just the case. But it was really cool, and he couldn't just show it the functionality of this because it was too light in the room. But they demonstrated it earlier in the show, at CES. But there's a projector in there, and if you tell it to play a movie, it'll project a movie against the wall.
Oh, like R2-D2.
Yeah. Only it won't be 3D image, but it'll be like, it's almost like R2-D2 projecting an image against the wall.
That'd be a cool computer case. R2-D2.
Yeah, and it's like this big like sphere. Honestly, it looks like something you would see in a sci-fi movie. It's got all these lights all around it, and you can see like the case fans inside of it spinning. And the one case fan where it was positioned, it almost looked like an eye. It was really cool. It was really cool looking. Expensive, but cool looking. Yeah, apparently, it's only going to be available in Japan right now, but there's these little robots that are like stuffed animals, but also robots that will walk around your house like a pet or something. And if it starts flapping its arms and stuff, it wants you to play with it. It's got like some kind of limited artificial intelligence in it. And they come with a charging station where they'll put themselves to bed and go to sleep by sitting on this charging station. I can't remember the name of them though, but they were actually pretty interesting looking.
Why didn't they have those when I was younger? I would have had them instead of kids. Yourself to bed. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Yeah. They were only like $2,000 for one of them too, which really, if you think about it, isn't bad.
Well, I mean, compared it to a kid, that's a freaking bargain.
Yeah.
Should have done that instead of a husband.
Compared to a cat or a dog, that's a bargain. You don't have to clean up any poo or litter box or anything. You know?
What if I can trade my husband in and get one?
I don't remember if there's anything else that was like really cool that you guys would be interested in anyway, because you guys aren't into all the computer stuff. Like I could go into these companies with their custom water cold setups, and you'd probably be like I was speaking Chinese or something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've built my own computers for years. I'd never buy anything. Because it used to be, if it had a name brand on it, it's a piece of junk. I built good stuff every time.
Have you seen the?
I'd need a new system, but it's been a couple of years since I've been into it, so I need a month or two to get caught up on what products is out there.
I had to water cool my computer, but for some reason it didn't work right. I don't know what I did wrong. I just took the water hose and stuck it in the drive on the side. I thought that's how you did it.
Yeah, that's what you did wrong. And I thought you were going to say you just peed on it, but that would have been wrong too.
Don't tempt him; he might.
Yeah, but they got custom water cooling systems now. Instead of having your standard old school reservoir on it, Jason, you got like a water distro block where you can actually see the water going down through it. It almost looks like a waterfall kind of effect.
Oh, like trickle down cooling.
Yeah, it like trickles through this block, and it's like they got some of them looks like a little maze that the water's going through. Other ones it's like looks like one of those relaxation waterfall things. You know what I'm talking about? It's really cool. Some of the stuff they're coming out with really looks cool. They got now. I've never been really into the water cooling thing, but man, I'm really tempted.
Well, about I don't know. Well, you probably know. What's it been? 3-4 years ago, maybe 3. When all this geo mining and all this crap electronic mining, all this come out, video card prices like tripled.
They killed
and stuff that
video card market for
and stuff that was no good and outdated that you would have put in a computer 2 generations ago. But you know what I mean. Old stuff all of a sudden was at full price, and it was just crazy.
Let's see if I can bring that back up.
Live stream has stopped.
Nope, it's starting this again.
Hashtag blame Night Strike.
You must have used too much server.
You broke it.
I was doing this. It did this before I went live tonight. I tested it. It did it twice before I went live. I was half tempted to do it on the duck. But now I'm glad I didn't now because with blow jumping in and everything, because I didn't have to switch people around.
I own part of GunTube, so I'll bring this up in the next corporate meeting.
I don't ever get invited to the corporate meetings.
I just got a nice corporate swag pack from the man not too long ago, so I thought it was pretty cool. He's got some stickers that's got like that 70s hologram look to it.
Really?